Welcome back to part 2 of 20 common items to include in a budget, presented by Access Work Service Ready, Willing, Able, Learning with Tess. First off, we have rent and mortgage. We all need a place to live. The first and biggest fixed expense to consider is your rent or mortgage payment. It's such a big item. It might even be easy to forget. Food and groceries. Food can be a pretty big expense if we don't budget wisely. You can get carried away going to new restaurants and ordering appetizers, yum yum, dinner and drinks on a regular basis, but don't fall into this temptation. Daily incidentals. It might not seem like you're spending a lot of money on your daily coffee or latte from your favorite cafe, but these costs can add up substantially over the course of a year. You should try and total these costs and include them in your budget. Plus, try making your coffee and lunch at home to save money. Savings. This might seem like a given, and many think about it, but never do it. It should be included in your budget like an expense. For example, it's a good idea when you get your paycheck to automatically transfer 20% into a separate savings account. Health, prescriptions, medicine. It's difficult to predict prescription costs because you never know when an illness is going to strike. But you should include over-the-counter medications on your budget. Common budget items might include Tylenol, Advil, Tums, and allergy medicine. Household maintenance. Household maintenance is an inevitable living expense. Example, replacement for damaged appliances, annual furnace maintenance, chimney cleaning as examples. Pet care. Our furry friends bring so much joy to our lives, but they can also take quite a bit out of our budget. Be sure to plan for veterinarian costs like vaccinations and checkups, as well as monthly costs like grooming and pet food. Bank account fees. Banks charge fees for their services. Example, low balances, transfers, check orders, and overdrafts. Include these costs in your budget or obtain a no-fee banking account instead. You might also consider switching from a corporate bank to a credit union. Vehicle. Most people budget for gasoline, but people often forget to budget for other vehicle costs like roadside assistance, license renewal fees, driver's license renewal fees, vehicle insurance, and vehicle maintenance. Parking. Parking is another expense that's easy to forget about, especially if you live in the city. It can add up in huge increments over time. If you're commuting to work in an urban area, chances are you're going to have to pay for parking now and then. Even when you go to the hospital, you need to pay for parking. Irregular or variable expenses and emergency fund. It is difficult to budget for a one-off expense because you won't know about them in advance, but you should always have some money set aside for them. If you learn about an upcoming expense like a wedding, you won't be caught off guard. Utilities. Whether you own a home or rent, you will have utility costs. Examples include electricity, gas, oil, wood, if you also heat with a wood stove or fireplace, water, sewage, garbage disposal, internet, telephone, and cable TV. Insurance. Insurance expenses for such items as house insurance, renter's insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, health care insurance, and automobile insurance as examples. Child care, babysitting, child support, daycare. Education, lifelong learning, tuition, books, school supplies, student loan repayment. Taxes. If you own a home, your bank may pay your property tax as part of the mortgage payment, or you may pay your property tax yourself. Charitable donations. A donation to a favorite charity is a worthy expense, and it's an item that you should definitely include when you're planning out your budget. If you are unable to donate, maybe volunteer at your favorite organization or donate blood. Entertainment. Who says that you can't budget for the fun things too? You should budget for any and all expenses that pertain to having fun, whether it be a movie, clubbing, or concert. Wardrobe and upkeep. Does your workplace require that you wear a suit and nice shoes? Then budget for the cost of replacement items as they wear out, and also budget for the cost of dry cleaning and shoe repair. A solid work wardrobe may be essential if you're going to continue making a good income. Subscriptions and memberships. Subscriptions to music services, streaming services, and online publications are frequently overlooked in household budgets, so be sure to include them if you have them. Memberships to a gym or yoga studio can be expensive. Definitely include these budget items in your budget. If you're a gym member, keep track of how often you actually go to see if it is worth it, as you may not be getting the most out of it. Thank you for following along with us in 20 common items to include in a budget.